Hello, everybody. Thank you all for joining this webinar. So I'm Alexandra. I'm responsible for startup relations and program at Sigfox. So really nice to meet you all. And I'm really pleased to introduce this webinar, the second webinar of the year today. But this one is quite special. So we are welcoming Marc Pous, who is co-founder and CEO at TheThingsIO, and Sigfox ambassador as well. So thank you again, Marc, for joining this webinar. So the agenda today is first, Marc is going to guide you through the TheThingsIO platform and explain how to integrate a device and how to use parser samples. Second, he will give you 3 live demos with the $1 button. First, how to get data from it, then shows your location, and last but not least, set up alarms. And to end this webinar, we'll go through a Q&A session. So if you have any question during the webinar, please write it on the chat or the question box on the right of your screen, and I will be happy to read it to get the answer from Marc at the end of the webinar. So thank you again, and Marc, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Alexandra. Nice presentation. You almost spoiled all my all my presentation.
Sorry for that.
So no problem. Good afternoon or good night or good morning, depending what time zone you are based. Yeah, I'm Marc. I'm the founder of TheThingsIO, and I'm going to show you how to connect the Sigfox device. In this case, yeah, we will play a little bit with a super cheap button that I collected on the Sigfox Connect that I will show you later. But that can be available for any device, actually. I will show you later, okay? So let me see. So TheThingsIO, we love simplicity. So we know that IoT, it's very complex. It's very complicated to make a hardware if you are making a product. It's very complicated or not to get connectivity with Sigfox, to make the certification process, etc. So we are on the side of the data. So we collect data from devices. We can analyze this data. I'm going to show you later this, and we can visualize it, or we can offer an API to third parties or to you to another system. So and we like that this process, that it's can be a big part of your business model or part of your product, be the easiest and the most simple part of all the process of launching an IoT product into the market or into your company. Okay, so this is the agenda. Actually, Alexandra explained a little bit. I'm gonna talk briefly, like 5-10 minutes, about what's TheThingsIO. And I'm going to go to explain you how to connect the Sigfox device to TheThingsIO. And because I like the live demos, I'm going to show you with a real button that I have next to me how to connect this button to the Sigfox backend, and then the Sigfox backend to the things, and then play a little bit with the data. Okay, and finally, as Alexandra said, we are going to play with the Q&A. Okay, so what's TheThingsIO? What problem companies that we meet have today? Okay, so companies wants to launch an IoT product, a connected product, into the market, and then they start thinking about developing their own everything themselves from scratch. In some cases, in other cases, yeah, they start developing their own platforms or hiring third-party companies. So they need to contract consulting, engineering, etc. That usually becomes into a long project. So why? So because that includes big developments, sometimes sprints that are inflexible, they don't allow changes, long compromises, total dependence on that technology, hard to change. So we want to get out of that. We want to simplify this project. We want to try to bring all of the tools that you need from scratch with no development cost, in theory, working from, as you are going to see in 5 minutes. If you have a Sigfox device, it's going to work in 5 minutes. All the data is owned by the company. We only manage all the servers and all the machines, and you don't need to take care of the scalability, etc., etc. So from the very first minute, your solution starts working, so you can focus on what's more relevant for your business, making the product, sell the product, market the product, etc. So how it works, it's super easy. So we support a lot of protocols, a lot of type of APIs, etc., etc. So your devices actually send data to our secure cloud, and then we can provide an API or WebSockets, etc., depending on your needs. If you have a phone application or you want to use our dashboards to visualize this data, okay? It's as I said in the beginning, we love simplicity. So the configuration of products, and as I'm going to show you, it's very easy. We enable to configure products and devices in a really easy way. We have dashboards. I'm going to also show you later on the live demo how to configure a dashboard or an application, how you can adapt depending on your needs. Our solution, and finally, all of our clients actually are running the ThengsIO solution under their URL and with their logo. Okay, how do we do that? So actually, we only need an SSL wildcard certificate from our clients that costs approx $60 per year, and with that, our clients just can redirect the URL of their domains to the ThengsIO, and then we do all the magic because everything works under the URL and the logo of our customers. Okay, the goal is to provide a seamless experience to your clients. So imagine that you buy a car, right? And then the car manufacturer tells you, okay, to see the data of your connected car, go to the things.io. Yeah, that experience, it's not very nice. It's better if they say, no, go to Renault or Peugeot.com and register your name, etc. So that's why we do this integration or custom run of our OEM platform. Then we have a feature that we call Cloud Code, okay, that enables companies and developers to apply algorithms on the top of the data. Okay, as I'm going to show you later, we have 3 types of Cloud Code. We have the triggers that are algorithms executed in real time. So that means that every time that you send the data, you can execute a trigger. We give 2 seconds of computation for a trigger. So usually it's for changing data, convert I don't know, Celsius degrees to Fahrenheit, send alarms, etc. We have jobs. Jobs are algorithms executed every hour or every day. I'm going to do a tiny demo of a job as well. That means that, usually clients use it to do calculations like average, like, things like that. Or I'm going to count the number of clicks on the button per hour, for example, on the job that I'm going to show you later. And then we have functions that are algorithms that can be called from triggers or jobs, or can be called as well from outside, as I'm going to show you for Sigfox. Okay, we have clients doing everything. We have clients doing artificial intelligence. We have clients doing weather forecasts with Cloud Code. We have clients calling machine learning algorithms from third parties from Cloud Code. So it's a system. If you know Amazon Lambda, we launched our service before, but it's a kind of Amazon Lambda, a little bit more specific. Okay. We also have integrations with third-party services. If you provide a service, just let me know, and we can include it on our marketplace. But our goal is that I'm going to show you as well on the live demo. The goal is that just introducing the credentials of a third-party service, you can take all the benefits from this service with the ThengsIO in a really easy way, from Cloud Code or from the alerts that I'm going to show you later. Our solution is software as a service. So you just log into the ThengsIO and you can start connecting your Sigfox devices, or it can be on premise. So usually on infrastructure as a service. So we have clients running on-premise solutions on Azure or on Amazon of the ThengsIO. Okay, so if you want to own your own platform, that's not a problem. So just usually we start with the clients that are using on-premise solution with the SaaS. When they are comfortable and the product is ready, we do all the change to the on-premise solution. And finally, this is something that we learn with experience. IoT it's still maturing, no? And usually the solutions for launching products into the market is to have the right business model. Okay, so we understand that well, we have a lot of experience with different business models from our clients, so we can help you as well to find the right business model. We like to work with our clients as well with win-win situations. So feel free to contact us if you need if you need help as well on your business models. All right. So after some ads about the TheThingsIO, let's go to connect a Sigfox device, okay, to the things. First of all, so actually I know Sigfox, if I'm not wrong, since 2013, 2012, probably, like the seventh worker of Sigfox came to Barcelona to give a pitch of Sigfox, and he gave me an Arduino with Sigfox connectivity. At that moment, there was still not coverage in Barcelona, but I started playing like a lot of years ago on Sigfox. And then when I created the TheThingsIO, the first projects on Sigfox is starting to pop up. So since 2014, we have Sigfox devices connected to the TheThingsIO. So we are, of course, integrated with Sigfox, with Atlas, and as well with the coverage API. And we have a lot of clients using Sigfox. And yeah, and a lot of projects already done. And it's nice to see projects growing to a lot of devices with Sigfox and other technologies from clients. And we like to say that we are the most simple Sigfox IoT platform. But yeah, this is something that you will let me know after the presentation. So some experience, just to give you some context of devices connected with Sigfox on the TheThingsIO. So for example, on 2016, there was a Sigfox peer sensor that was being launched into the market. So they were launching this product on the Mobile World Congress and embedded in Nuremberg. And 2 weeks before, they called us if we could help them on connecting 2,000 units and making the mobile application iOS and Android. We don't make mobile applications, but in that case, we made an exception, and we connected in 2 weeks. We made everything. As you're gonna see, it's super simple. The most of the complexity was the mobile application, but yeah, it was a fun project. Another project that we like to work, it's on asset tracking. Okay, and so a company needed to geolocalize their returnable pallets around Europe because they were losing too many expensive pallets. So we are working with, in this case, with SenseAttack, that is a really cool hardware tracker provider. So we started connecting these pallets with this is the SenseAttack. I don't know if that's version 1.5, I think. And yeah, in 4 weeks we had everything working and all the pallets up and running, connected and generating KPIs about logistics. Okay, today I'm not gonna get into the geolocation and geofencing, etc. But on the blog.TheThingsIO, you have webinars talking about how to geolocalize devices using Sigfox and how to start generating new KPIs about asset tracking. Okay. So what's about today's demo? Okay, so let's imagine that we are going to connect a truck that has a button, and every time that stops, press the button. So every time that the driver or whoever clicks onto the button, this data will go to Sigfox. Okay, from Sigfox we will set up a callback that will send the data to the TheThingsIO. One of the things that we do on Sigfox is that we only introduce the callback. We don't do anything on the we don't play with the data on Sigfox, just to give potential to companies and developers we like to do all the data transformation into the TheThingsIO. And we do it with what we call a Sigfox parser into our cloud code. So automatically, I'm going to show you when you create a Sigfox product, automatically we create what we call a Sigfox parser. So with this Sigfox parser, you can start playing with the data. And why we don't use a Sigfox transformation and we want to play with this data into the things, because it's very simple. So there are some simple devices like this button that maybe it doesn't bring a lot of specific added value on the data, but there are other devices where it's needed to do some specific calculations, or it's relevant to read all values of the last data sent, for example, to make calculations on the new data received, for example. So it's with a cloud code you can do all of this magic, right? So this is why we like to play with the raw data from Sigfox with the 12 bytes. And once we have the 12 bytes, we start making sense of that data. Okay. Finally, during the demo, I'm going to show you as well how to send an email with SendGrid, for example. That actually was acquired by Twilio. So how to send an email with every time that we press a button, or every time, I will decide on real time. Okay. So this is what we are going to do. Actually, the demo the hardware that I'm going to show you during the demo, it's this button. In case that you don't know it, this is like the $1. I say $1 button, but probably it's more expensive. This is and Sigfox gave it to me the last Sigfox Connect at Singapore. But as a disclaimer, okay, I'm not an expert on hardware, so I'm not here to talk about this button. There is an amazing webinar 2 weeks ago that I'm going to publish, or Alexandra is going to publish these slides. So these links will be available, but there is an amazing webinar made 2 weeks ago talking about the hardware and all the specificities of this amazing button. Okay. On the second link, you have like the reference design of low-cost devices by Sigfox. If you want extra information about an amazing Sigfox hacker, you have this Paul Pinot blog, this 91. So you can have information about this button, or the last link on below. You also have his experience building his own $1 Sigfox device. Okay, so as I said, I'm not a hardware expert. I don't have any clue about the low-cost reference design. So we are using this device because it was simple. I'm going to show you complex stuff, so I didn't want to get into a very complex Sigfox parsers. We could be able to play with the sense attack, for example. But the sense attack Sigfox parser is about 400 lines of code. So I didn't want to complex that much, and I thought that it was fun to play with the $1 button that you can probably, if you write Alexandra or someone else from Sigfox, probably you can get. So as a disclaimer, okay, I'm not an expert on this button, right? Let's talk about the things. So let's go to the demo. Okay, let's do it. All right, I have some. I created an account actually at TheThingsIO called Webinar Sigfox. Actually, you can go to TheThingsIO, start for a free trial. It's a 15 days free trial, okay? Then if you want to keep playing, you have to put the credit card. If not, you can create another free account. Okay, and usually when you create an account, you see this, okay? This is a random dashboard that we introduce, okay? It doesn't mean anything. So first thing that you have to do if you have a Sigfox device, it's to go to, well, my dashboard maybe can be different because I am an admin, right? But you have to go to the Things Manager, okay? And then create a new IoT product, okay? Then here you introduce the name, whatever, no? Button, etc. And then you have to say that it's a Sigfox device, okay? We also support other protocols, etc. So as well, if you work with Sigfox but with other technologies, you also can connect them, okay? In this case, I'm going to use the product that I already created, okay, a few days ago. I call it one button. It's a Sigfox. And then when you have the product created, you click into details. And then the most important part when you don't have any device, it's this details square here. Okay, and on the details you have a callback URL. Okay, this is what you need to copy to bring it into the Sigfox backend. Okay, I'm gonna get into the next squares, the next widgets in a bit, but let's jump into the Sigfox backend. Okay, I just copied. Yeah, I copied the URL. So okay, let's wake up the Sigfox backend. Okay, so I have a device type called webinar TheThingsIO. Okay, and the next thing that you have to do, of course, you need to associate your devices on your device type. Next thing, it's to go to callback. Okay, I'm not gonna get into how to connect the button into the Sigfox. Okay, if you have your licenses, that's pretty simple. And the next thing that you need to do is to create a new custom callback. Okay, and then when you are here, that's pretty simple. So on the URL pattern, you just paste the URL and you click post, and that's all. You just click OK. Okay, I already did this, so I'm not gonna touch it. Okay, but as you see, it's a data uplink. Okay, we also support downlink. That's not a problem. For the downlink, we also have another webinar on blog.TheThingsIO explaining how to do the downlink and uplinks all together, same time with the same Sigfox parser. Okay, but we have the URL here, and it's a post. Okay, nothing else. We don't need any body, anything. Okay, and that's all. With that, that's super simple. So actually, if I press the button, let's see if we get any data. So usually, okay, let me explain you how I connect devices from the TheThingsIO office. Actually, yeah, we see that we received a message here. Okay, it works, live demos. But actually, let me explain a little bit more about the configuration of Sigfox here at the TheThingsIO office. We have a mini base station or micro base station, I think. So that means, and this is why I'm not going to show anything about geolocation. That means that the micro base stations are not geolocated on Atlas. So as I have here on the callbacks, we have data advanced, but we don't get any latitude and longitude. And this is why we are not going to play with this. But in case that you are very interested, that's super simple as well to configure. Actually, you have to say that it's a service, it's a data advance, and then the URL, you have to carry it. Okay, you have to carry it to ID device, and then introduce device and computed location. And with that, we automatically, when we get this message, introduce a latitude and longitude as a geolocation of the device. But that's a little bit more complex. So let's go to the button again. Okay. So as you see, we got a message in real time. So what happens first time that when you don't have any device, this is empty. Okay, we don't have anything here on this list. First time that we get a message from this device, the 1B42B7, we check if it's not created, we create it. Okay, if it's created, we store the data. Okay. So let's go. First of all, let's see how we store the data. Okay, so let's go to the cloud code. As I told you, when you created a Sigfox product, we automatically create this function, the Sigfox parser. This is automatically created. Okay, it's with some comments. So what you need to do actually is to convert the 12 bytes of the Sigfox raw data into data that we understand. Okay, so how we understand data? We understand data as a key value data. Okay, so we understand that the key status and value pushed. Okay, as I didn't mention, but if you have seen the video of the webinar, I think it's explained. But the funny thing of this button is that it's sending 0 bytes. It's sending nothing. So you get a message that means that the button has been pushed, but with no data actually. Okay, that's funny. So we have to invent. So every time that the Sigfox parser is executed, we understand that it's executed, and we play a little bit with this data. Okay, what does it mean? First of all, this last part of the Sigfox parser, it's with the metadata that Sigfox sent us. So it sent us the SNR, the station, average SNR, RSSI, and sequence number. Okay, what I do else? So actually, what I do else, it's I introduce this status that it's pushed. We calculate here the date that it's now. So we say the last push is in the date. I'm going to show you why we do that. And we calculate the battery percentage. How do we calculate the battery percentage? Okay, if you are if you listen the webinar from 2 weeks ago, actually they say that it's 2,000 messages, the maximum messages that they calculated for of battery of this button, it's 2,000. Okay, so I do a simple mathematics. Okay, so I said, okay, what's a sequence number? And so we take the maximum message battery less the sequence number, and I divide it. I understand that when we reach 4,000 sequence number, we will go into zero. I understand that, and probably we can improve this mathematical equation, okay, to have the exact number, even if the when you change batteries. But yeah, at the moment, this is how we are going to do in this demo. Okay, and then I'm going to play as well with some charts. So I calculate the next 10 seconds. So we are going to do this. We are going to store the key battery value, the battery percentage, calculated with that equation. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that the status num is 0. Sorry, the status num is 1. And then you can actually say when you want to store that data. So I say now. And then the next key value, it's key value status num, so same name than here, 0, 10 seconds later. Okay, you are gonna show. I'm gonna show you this on charts. Okay, and then I print this on. I'm gonna save this, and I'm gonna go to the dashboard. Okay, so this is as I told you, this is a dashboard that that we get when we create an account. So I'm gonna delete all the widgets. Okay, and I'm gonna create new widgets to show this data. So I'm going to introduce a logs table. So, okay, we have different types of data sources. I think it's important for the main dashboard. I'm going to show you that we have 2 levels of dashboards. So let me go one by one. So we have the account metrics. That means that you can have widgets explaining the number of devices that you have, number of API calls, number of connected devices yesterday, etc. So we provide different account metrics. We have actuators, that means buttons or text buttons, etc. So for example, if you want to do the let's click. So if you want to for example do the downlink, you can introduce by hand the message that you want to send for a downlink and store it on a specific resource. We have iframes as well. We have custom metrics calculated from Cloud Code, HTML in case that you want to introduce HTML widgets, serial image, open data, SCADAs, and then think resources. But I think the most important is for now, it's a product. What does it mean, the product? Yeah, for one device, yeah, we don't need it. But when you have hundreds or thousands of devices connected to the things, you want to have widgets that can represent all of them together in one widget. And this is what's the product widget. So we select the one button product, and we say that we want the table. We want to see the data in real time. Okay, and here we ask you what resources you want to display. Okay, the data stored, the key value data that I showed you previously, when we call it resource. Okay, a key is a resource. Okay, so we would like to see, for example, the battery. Okay, and we have we can say the unit and an alias. I want to see for example, the last push. Okay, this is how we store it on the key, and I can say here last push. I want to have a search input. Okay, so here we have this table where we can see that it's 9.6%. Let's click again because I changed, I doubled the battery length, right? You remember that it was 1,000 and I put 2,000. Okay, now I click and let's cross fingers that we get a new message and it changed. Okay, fantastic. So now with the new calculation, we have 54% battery. Last push has been now. I'm gonna save this. It is a little bit Office 2000, but we need to save, okay? And let's imagine that we had geolocation, okay? So we would be able to introduce a map. In this case, as I told you, we don't have any geolocation available, but yeah, we could say 6 roadmap. In case that you have radios, for example, this is something available on Sigfox. If you use computed location, you can say that you want to show radius, and if you store it with a resource that it's automatic radius, you can see the radius as well. Okay, markers clustering. Yeah, show mark. No, I don't want the clustering. Okay, so yeah, as I told you, this is not geolocated, but in case that your device is geolocated, you will start seeing all your points here. Okay, super simple. Yeah, that's fun, but we also have a second. So when you have like a lot of devices, you can see all of them here. That's super simple. But then we also can create what we call an insight dashboard. What is an insight dashboard? Yeah, when you have a lot of devices and you want to see a specific data from one device, it's interesting that you can click and see data from this specific device. In this case, we don't have any insight dashboard. It's like the random insight dashboard that appears. So on the things manager, it's where we can create the insight dashboard. So let's go, and it's here. It's below all these KPIs between the things, and there is this box of insight dashboard. So we are going to create one. We are going to say $1 button insight dashboard. We're going to create it, okay, and we are going to edit it. Okay, so it appears the same that we saw before. So I'm going to delete everything. And I'm going to create a really simple insight dashboard where we are going to be able to see the name. Okay, so oops, let me refresh. Sometimes it dies. Oh, I need to delete everything again. So the idea is that I'm going to show the name of the device. And as I told you, you remember that one of the keys that we were storing was the status num, that it's 0 or 1. I'm going to visualize this chart, but okay. So let's say no name, and this is settings, not name. I'm going to show you that we store the data in 2 different type of objects. One is the data object that it's a normal resource like the key value, and then we have another resource that it's the settings, where you can store data, but it's not related on time series. It's just data. Okay, so it's the last value. The name it's not going to change because it belongs to Sigfox. Okay, we will have here the name. When you are another thing, when you are editing a dashboard, you're not going to see real data. Everything it's going to be random data. So historical clicks. So this is going to be status num. Okay, and it's not last value, it's historical data. It's a line chart. We will put it real time. And we're going to put, 100 values. We're going to leave this like this. Okay, and we have here this. And finally, we're going to put a battery widget. Battery. That it's a gauge, real time. The unit, it's this minimum, it's here. Okay. And we're going to do it a little bit smaller, and we're going to save it. Okay. So if I go back to the dashboard, actually, and I click here, we are going to see magically this this data that we see here. Okay. Actually, yeah, you can see that we did some some demos before the webinar, okay? But as I showed you on the Sigfox parser, we store 1 when we get the click button, and then we calculate 10 seconds, and we store 0. Okay, so it's 1331.48, and this is 1331.58. Okay, so this is how we play with the Sigfox parser. Okay, this is just to visualize the clicks. If not, it's all the time 1, and it's not very beautiful. Okay, so now we have a device connected. We have a dashboard to see all the devices. We have an insight dashboard. Super fantastic. Usually, this is for the administrators. In case that you have clients and you want to give access them to this data, but you want to give them only read access only, we have what we call applications. Okay, but this gives for another webinar, so I'm not going to show applications today. But yeah, in case that you need a demo, just let me know. Okay, let's go to set up an alert. Okay, so the alerts are here. Okay, but to set up, we already have an alert here. But to set up an alert, it's important to have a service integrated. Okay, so an alert usually goes to email or by SMS or by phone call. Okay, so we have integrated this service. We have SendGrid, MailChimp for emails, okay, that are really simple. They work really good, and they have a free tier that usually works very well. And we have then Twilio and Clickatell for SMS and for phone calls. That depending on the country where you are based, they work better or worse, or they are cheaper, etc. Okay, so with these 2 services, are mostly working with our clients. Okay, we are playing a little bit, understanding what our clients need. Okay, if you need Soracom, Slack, Prometheus, etc., and then if you click pre-order, we get an email, and we are doing some statistics. But in case that you want, for example, MailChimp, so you just click credentials, introduce your API key, and automatically you can send emails with your Mandrill service from TheThingsIO. Okay, actually we made this with the SendGrid. I'm not going to show you our credentials, but when you will open the alert, you will need to choose an alert provider. So in this case, because we have SendGrid activated from our marketplace, you can select here SendGrid. Okay, we don't have any SMS provider, so we see none. And then you create an alert. Okay, I'm going to show you the alert already created. Okay, so we call it button pressed. It's active, but you can pause it if you want. And it's about the product. What does it mean? It means that it affects all the product, all the device. Say, imagine that I would have 1 million buttons. This alert would apply automatically to all of them. Okay. In case that you wanted to apply to a specific thing, so you can select here the things as well. Okay, that you want to apply one. Another thing that I'm not going to touch into this webinar, it's the tags. Okay, so you also can tag like hashtags devices, groups of devices. So you can group devices, and you can apply one alert for a specific tag of devices. Okay. What else? So in this case, I wanted to simplify all the demo, etc. So no tags. In case that you want to see a video with tags on the blog, TheThingsIO, we have tutorials, videos, webinars with this. Feel free to go there. And then we do like an if this then that condition. Very simple. So we have the status known. If it's equal 1, it launch an alert, right? So we have a schedule in case that you need the notifications on a specific time. So for example, we have clients that say, guys, I need this alert at night from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. every day, or during the weekend, or just working days, etc. So this is the schedule why it works. Okay. Check time. In case that you want that a specific value gets during any specific hours into that value or into that threshold, or any specific. So for example, let me give you another example. So we have a cold chain client that says, okay, if the temperature goes below outside the threshold or into a specific threshold, if we have only one it's not relevant. But if we have during 30 minutes or during 3 hours, the temperature into this threshold, we want to get an alarm. Okay, so that's why we have the check time. And then the reminders. So, okay, I only want one alert per day. Or I want maximum one alert per hour or 2 alerts per hour. So here you can see if you leave it 0, is that you want real time. And then here you will select that you want SendGrid emails. And then you will be able to select the sender. Or actually, if you click here, it's because you have a $settings.email resource defined on your description of the thing. So automatically, if you have 1 million devices, every one of these with one specific email defined, automatically it sends the email to the person. In this case, I'm going to send it to me. Okay, and you just can define the subject, the message, and then below the message on the emails, you see the resources that launched the alert. Okay, I'm going to cancel it because it's already working. And that's okay. So we have a dashboard, we have alerts. What else do we have? Let me show you the jobs, okay? Because I thought that it was interesting and was funny to show you how to play with the data, okay, before the Q&A. So the cloud code, I told you, so we like as well to process data and to analyze the data, okay? It can be in real time, as you saw on the Sigfox parser, that we play a little bit with the 0 bytes that we get from the button. But also we play with the job, okay? So we are counting how many clicks are being done every hour, okay? So when you create a job, actually, you define what product is this job for. So we have clients with a lot of products, you can imagine. And then the frequency, it can be daily or hourly, okay? And I'm gonna show you that we created an hourly job. It's a little bit tricky if you're not a developer. The jobs and parsers are done in JavaScript, okay? And it's a little bit tricky if you're not a developer. I'm gonna explain you what this code means, but if you want to connect something to the things, you don't have technical skills, don't worry, just connect us, we will help you, okay? We will give you support, we will help you to connect your devices to the things, okay? So actually, yeah, if you are expert on JavaScript, you will know that it's a synchronous language, and then yeah, you need some tricks to do the synchronous, asynchronous, etc. So we get all the things from the product, okay? We jump into these get product things. We get all the things from the products, and then asynchronously we check one by one how many clicks has been done the last hour. Okay, so we jump into this function. I'm not going to get into everything, but then here we just read into the TheThingsIO API the status num, how many times has been won. Okay, and then we just add it and we put it on total. And then we just create the resource clicks hour with the value total, okay? And then we store it on the things, okay? So every hour, at sharp hour, we just do the calculations, clicks hour with the total of clicks, okay? And I'm gonna check if this is working. Actually, well, by the way, if you are doing a cloud code, you are developing your own cloud code or your Sigfox parser, there are some ways to test and to preview the code, okay? So in the case of jobs, if you do something like this and you click preview, it's gonna get executed, even if it's not sharp hour, okay? So we have as well this developer console, okay, that I can open here, okay? Now it's empty because we don't see, let's send one click. If I send one click, it should, I think there is a console log on the Sigfox parser, I think, yeah. So we see all the information, okay, received and all the information stored. So if we go to if you do the preview of the job, I don't know, let's hope that it works. It gets into so we have a queue system, so it gets into the queue of the TheThingsIO cloud code, and then we also have here some console log of what's gonna get stored. Let's see if we don't have any error. But yeah, sometimes it takes a little bit to get executed. So we will go here later. So let's go to the, yeah, this is the things manager. Okay, so we get into the details of the product. Well, remember, we are here. We created the inside dashboard, so we get into the device. Let's see if the TheThingsIO works. TheThingsIO has been created. And then, yeah, we see that, yeah, we did some test. So at 3, we click 4 times from 2 to 3, at 4, 1 time, and 3 times at 5. So from 4 to 5. Okay, so now in 10 minutes, it will get executed again. So it gets executed. No, this is another lock. So, but what I want to do actually, I want to get here and in the inside dashboard, I want to paint this chart. So super simple, as I showed you before. So clicks per hour. So I can click. How do we call it? Sorry, I don't remember. I even don't remember. Clicks hour. So sometimes it's better to come here. Historical line chart. 10. Okay, and we'll put it here like this. We store it. Okay, done. So every time that we click here, okay, we have now it's for 54%. So we will see as well the click hour. So with the cloud code, we enable you to create new KPIs, play with the data. So this is super stupid example, as you can imagine, but we can do a lot of things. So we calculate, for example, if an asset is on a specific warehouse, or if it's in the distribution center, as I said, a client, without telling us anything, just is doing weather forecast, etc. So it's a very powerful tool that you can use, and it's pretty simple to do, and we're gonna help you to do it. Have in mind that I'm gonna publish all this code. It's on my GitHub account, okay? But I'm gonna publish this code on the TheThingsIO GitHub. Okay, actually, if you go to the TheThingsIO GitHub, there is a lot of Sigfox devices where you can play with the Sigfox parser. For example, as I told you, we are working a lot with SenseAttack. So you have here the Sigfox parser for the 1.5 or the version 3. As I told you, we wanted to play with a simple device because if I have to explain you what does it mean, all of this code, with 575 lines of code, it's a little bit tricky. But you have to imagine that we can play with very complex Sigfox devices with a lot of different uplink messages with different sizes, etc. You have to imagine that this device sends a lot of different type of messages, and we can help you to do this. Okay. What else? I think that's all. I think I talk a lot. I make a very broad demo, and I think it's time for the Q&A. What do you think, Alexandra? I don't know if there are questions.
I think you're right. Thank you very much. It was so interesting, and I hope everybody enjoyed it. So let's go for the Q&A session. So if you haven't done it now and you have questions, please write it in the question box. So we have quite a lot of questions. So the first one is, why should I use the TheThingsIO platform rather than Microsoft Azure or GCP, for instance?
That's a very good question, actually. Thank you. It's pretty simple. So if you want to use Azure or Google or Amazon, first of all, you need to know about their infrastructure, how to manage the infrastructure, how to scale it. They tell you that it's that's automatic, etc., but that's not 100% true. Okay, so we get you rid of managing infrastructure, databases, the need to pay for a different service that you need to manage the logs of hardware of the infrastructure, etc. So we have a lot of experience of companies coming to the TheThingsIO, but they were trying to use, well, they were successfully using Amazon or Azure or Google, on their projects, but they didn't have the team or they didn't know how to scale it. So the scalability, it's not about the infrastructure, it's about the software. So yeah, this is what we try to simplify with the ThengsIO. It's not about that we are better than Amazon, etc. Actually, we are using Google Cloud, but we are using our own software. So what we do is we simplify this need to create your own machines and the software on the top of Amazon or these infrastructures for your products. And we try to help you to succeed on IoT. This is what we do.
Okay, thank you. I think the next question was related to your first demo on the backend. Why do you send the data within the URL?
Yeah, that's as well a very good question. This is something old that we did since the very first version, and we keep it on the URL. But Sigfox, yeah, I think this is some in the beginning we were working like this with the Sigfox backend, and yeah, and we keep it. But we are reading the JSON coming from the Sigfox backend.
Okay, thank you. I have one other question. Who owns the data, you or the client? And what about data security?
Okay, that's a very good question as well. So by contract, our clients own the data. Okay, so we don't own any data. We only, by contract, we only have right to manage and store the data and analyze it. Analyze it means the cloud code that you saw, or the algorithm. So in case that you have like a big project, yeah, all the algorithms that then we can do on cloud code or outside cloud code. This is what you give us rights to do. But all the data and all the KPIs generated with the cloud code are owned by our clients by contract. And we are a European, well, we are based in Barcelona. I didn't mention that. We follow the European privacy and security rules. So that's how we store the data following these laws. On security, we are open. So we have several customers that have made pen tests and security checks, etc. We don't have any problem with customers that needs to check that with the external company. We try to, yeah, we have been working with hundreds of clients since 2014. So yeah, this is what we try to help companies. No? And I connect this question to the first one. No, we try to help our clients to succeed, and they don't have this headache of security, privacy, etc. So we take care of that.
Okay, thank you, Marc. Can you tell us about the pricing, please?
Sure. Yes, the pricing, it's public. So if you go to the ThengsIO. So actually on the footer, there is the pricing page, and actually we created as well another page of, meanwhile the pricing gets open, no, certified Sigfox products that are actually products that are already, that we already have a Sigfox parser, because this is something that some clients, so sorry, I put this ad in the middle, Alexandra, but some devices that are already connected and we have the Sigfox parser. So we have the Sense Attack, Univis, Unisensors that are as well connected. We are working as well with the Oyster GPS tracker, so also connected. Adeunis. We are also working with Endless, with a lot of simple hardware as well working right now. So with a lot of devices that are already connected, we have available the Sigfox parser. So if you have any of these devices, it's just a matter of 5 minutes to connect these devices to the things. On the prices, it's pretty simple. So for the SaaS, we have this 15 days free trial, and then you can get into the launch, the advanced or the corporate plans, depending on the number of devices that you have. So then for all the monthly API calls and cloud code executions have been as well designed with your number of devices and messages that you can send. So usually for Sigfox devices, neither API calls or executions of cloud code get overflow on that. And that's all. Then for on-premise, depending on the project, we have different prices. So feel free to ask Q&A.
Okay, noted. Thanks. Next question from Pierre-Jean. How to distinguish on the map geolocation data decoded from the payload of a GPS-enabled device and geolocation data provided by Sigfox Data Advanced?
Yeah, sure. So it's pretty simple. If I understand correctly, you mean if you have a GPS tracker, right, sending data and also the computed location from Sigfox, right?
I think so.
Okay, so yeah, if you have a GPS tracker, the GPS latitude and longitude comes into the Sigfox payload, into the 12 bytes. Okay, so actually on the Sigfox parser, what we do is we just cut these 12 bytes. Yeah, actually, we don't. The example here it's not very good because we don't have any data. But let me go to the sense attack, for example, just for a second, no, and I show you, no. So for example, we cut. So it's here we check the first 2 bytes, okay, and we say that they are decimal. So in the case of GPS, imagine that you send hexadecimal GPS. We cut it in the middle. We say, okay, first part it's latitude. Second part it's longitude. We do all the calculations that the payload definition explains, and we store it as a geolocation and into the things. Then if the atlas comes, then we can do different politics. You have to have in mind. So you have to have in mind that we are very flexible. Okay. So what does it mean, this flexibility on the trackers? Because we have a lot of experience on trackers. We have seen times where you have a GPS tracker, but you don't have GPS at that moment because you are in a warehouse where you have atlas position. But maybe it's 1 kilometer of precision, but it's fairly enough because you don't have GPS. So in the Sigfox parser, you are able to do this. If I get a message, but it's not a GPS message, I want to store this atlas position, this computed location, as a geolocation. Okay. In the case that you get the GPS, you can say, okay, so I don't want to count that location as a real location. Okay, so we have like very complex logistic projects where, for example, we create like a path where this tracker has been with the most prestigious locations, depending if there is GPS or if there is Atlas. Okay, so that's possible with a job. No, every hour we check. Okay, last hour, how many GPS messages we got and how many Atlas, and then we define the best path on precision, for example, with a job. So that's yeah, so that's tricky, but if you talk with us, we can play with that in a really easy way. I hope that I answered the question correctly.
Yes, thank you, Marc. I have another question from Nicola. Is it possible to generate a mobile web service with this platform, or do you have a mobile app available?
Okay, good question as well. So the apps that we say here that we have apps, this is so for us, what it's an app? Okay, an app it's a dashboard for third parties. What does it mean, a dashboard for us? Actually, if we see the definition of our dashboard, it's just some front end that it's getting feed from our API. Okay, so an app for us is just an API with a front end on front. Our dashboards are responsive, are not super mobile applications, but they are responsive. So some clients are playing with our dashboards from their mobile phones. I actually do it as well, but they are not a native mobile applications. And I have to say that we are not experts on making mobile applications. We focus on what we are good at. It's scalable cloud solutions for IoT. So so we kind of generate out an automatic mobile application. Okay. Having said that as well, on our GitHub account, we have SDKs that maybe are old, maybe are not old enough on Android and iOS. So check our GitHub account, github.com/thethings. and you will see an Android SDK and an iOS app examples. So getting that examples, you can easily do a mobile application. Okay. We also have a Ionic application that we will be able to do open source as well on our GitHub. So yeah, we will be able to put it on open source. So very easily you will be able to make a mobile application as well.
Really cool, thank you. I have another question. Do you have any accounts for academy students?
Sure, yes. Actually, for scholars and universities, etc. Yeah, if you so when you create an account, you will see that it will appear on a chat on the bottom right. So just contact me, say, hey, I'm a student, I need this for a project. So what we do for students, academies, etc. What we do, it's okay. We give free accounts during the project, and a counterpart, we like to get a blog post that we will publish in our blog of TheThingsIO about the experience of the student using the things, about the project, if he or she can talk about it, etc. So that's what we ask for. But yeah, it's feel free to contact me. It's not free, but if you are doing a project, just let me know. We like to help students.
Sounds good, thank you. Next question is, hey, I didn't know that TheThingsIO could provide support to advise me with my business model. Who should I contact?
So the best, it's send an email to hello@TheThingsIO or contact me on let's go to the contact me on my email or and it's Marc@TheThingsIO. Or just create an account if you have Sigfox devices. Just connect them and send me a message on the chat.
Okay. And are you doing the operation for my product then? It's not related, but I guess it's about, I don't know, maybe a maintenance or something like that.
Mm-hmm. But say again, I don't get the question, sorry.
I don't know, because the guy just left the, the meeting. Let's see, there is something missing. I think okay.
And I have a sticker here on the bottom right that a client once said that we are a straightforward, no bullshit IoT, the first straightforward, no bullshit IoT platform that he was using. So yeah, feel free to tell us if we are, and if you have more questions.
I think we went through all questions. So everybody, if you have a question afterwards you would like to ask to Marc or to Sigfox team, feel free to reach out to us. You have the Marc emails at the bottom of your screen, and I will send you an email afterwards with the video we will upload on YouTube. So you'll be able to watch it again and to share it with your teams if you want. Thank you very much, Marc. It was really nice to have you here, always.
Thank you for the invitation.
I hope we'll have you next time on another topic. So have a nice day, everybody, and see you soon.
Yeah, and have in mind that if you're connecting Sigfox, there is a Slack channel that it's very active. A lot of people will help you there with your problems that you can have with hardware, etc. And there are services like TheThingsIO that can help you to go quickly into the market or to see data really quickly.
Yes, good points.
All right. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.